Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate you coming out tonight. My name is Lafayette Eaton. I'm the Democratic leader for East Rochester, and I just wanted to say a little bit about what's going on with the campaign here in town. So we have a couple of candidates, Mark and Chad. They've put out their vision for taxes for East Rochester, as well as community engagement. And I just wanted to emphasize the importance of local elections. Local elections are super important for our democracy, and we have two very strong candidates with Mark and Chad. And so I want to turn it over to them. Before that, I want to mention early voting starts October 28th this month. Okay. Also, absentee ballots are available. So if you need one of those, you can pick those up. But I wanted to turn over to Mark and Chad to talk about their vision for East Rochester. So come on up, Mark and Chad.
Thanks, Lafayette. Mark, another successful social hour.
Yes, and for you people who are not here, you are missing excellent food at Crust. This
Correct.
is really good.
Yeah. You know, we do one of these every month. We'd love to have you. Our next one, last one before the election, is November 2nd. It's at Lucca's Northside. If you haven't eaten there recently came under new ownership, and just great food. We always have a good time there. Yes. I think it's our third time there.
Yes, it is. And Matt has put on a really great menu at Northside, so please come down, support them, and come see us.
Yeah. You know, the social hours, it's fun just seeing friends, engaging people in the campaign, engaging people in our local Democratic committee. But I like that we spread it around and go to different places and support different businesses around town, and try to improve local business, that environment.
That's important too. We have to show the businesses that we care about them, their welfare, and try to make a good environment for them and for the people of this community.
So less than a month out until the election, almost 20 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, we're getting down to the wire, folks.
Yeah.
Get out and vote. If you have a chance, do the early voting. If you need a ride, call us. We will glad to help any way possible.
Yeah. So there's a couple things going on right now. You can, you can request your absentee ballot. Anybody who's at college, anybody who's working that day, somebody who can't leave the house for medical issues, you can request an absentee ballot until the 23rd of this month. We can help you do that. We have the information on our Facebook page. But if you need help, just let us know. We want to help you vote. The more people who vote and express what they want around town is better for East Rochester.
Now's the time for a change in this village. It's been too long. We have a really good chance, and it's for the residents. We are working for you. You are now the bosses. You're in charge. We want to listen to you on how to make this community better.
Early voting will start on the 28th. You can vote in multiple places around the county. We will provide all that information to you as well. And then, of course, election day is November 7th. There's only one polling place here in East Rochester, and it's going to be in the first floor of the Iyer building. Everybody in town is going to vote in the same place. No more voting at the school. So we're just trying to make sure that everybody has all the right information. And like Mark said, we will help you vote however you want to. Absentee, early voting, or in-person day of. We just want to help you express your right and what you think should be going on with the village. But speaking of that, in the last week we've released our plans for the village. Two big plans: a plan for East Rochester taxpayers and a plan for for community engagement. Two things that are really important to both Mark and I. You want to kind of share the basics, Mark, of what we?
The basics.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, the biggest thing for me, I think, and for Chad also, is transparency of our government and more public input. I think I've been here my whole life. A lot of people have expressed and shown a total frustration that they just can't seem to talk to their government. And we want to change that rule. It's time it has to change anyways. So, and we have fiscal responsibility. How is our money being spent? Where is it going? How much is it going? When's it going?
Yeah. To start with our tax plan, what we talked about is the fact that East Rochester pays some of the highest taxes in Monroe County. Residents in East Rochester deserve to know where that money is going, so we need more transparency in our government budget, in the audits that are regularly done of our local government, and that we want people to know that they have a voice in how it's spent. We don't want people to just think that the government is working absent their input. We want people to know that we will govern with your input. We will govern based on what you care about, and we'll have conversations about it. We'll always be approachable. Mark and I have said that one of the first things we'll do when we're trustees is we will put forward to cut the village trustee compensation, the salary, because we think that if people are struggling paying their property taxes in town, then village trustees shouldn't be paid to such a degree that it hurts taxpayers. And we just want you to know that we're in this with you. It's not going to solve all the budget problems at town, but it shows really what we believe, which is the fact that
it shows our commitment to
yeah.
making government accessible. We're going to reduce our salaries or whatever allotment we get and give it to a good cause. Give it to the Parks Committee, give it to the Resource Center. But we can't keep handing out raises and bonuses in a 1 square mile area.
The next part of it, and it really goes in with the taxes, is our plan for community engagement. Mark and I, we, throughout this entire campaign, ask us anything and we answer in 24 hours. We want to know what matters to you. We have our own ideas of how the town should be run. But we want you to know that as trustees, we will be working for you. We need to hear from you, and we care about what you think. And so what we think is that all of the village board meetings should be live streamed on the internet, because that's how a lot of people interact with their government. We did that through COVID. The town has the ability to do that, and they have chosen not to. Second, we think that all of our town board meetings, we should have plain language minutes that are published after the board meetings so that people can read what happened, and that there's some accountability there. And then people can chip in after the fact, even if they can't go to the board meeting. Not everybody can make a Thursday evening meeting. That's hard for me to make as a father of young kids often. And I just want people to be more engaged, and I want them to share their skepticism, their concerns, and their criticism, because how else are we going to know how to govern for the people?
Presently, your village board only gives you 5 minutes to talk. That's not fair. Whether you have something good or not to say, you should have more than 5 minutes to talk. Because you're a taxpayer, you're in this community, you want to help and be a part of this community. So, like we've been saying, we want more input from the people, and we want more transparency from our local government.
So, in the spirit of that, we'll open it up to any questions around here. Does anybody have any concerns, anything that's come up in the last month, any general questions for the campaign, what Mark and I believe, how we'll govern? We'd love to hear from you. Hi, yeah.
You talk about transparency, and having lived in this community for quite a while, there hasn't been much transparency. So it's going to be a change of behavior. How is it going to look?
So the question for anybody who couldn't hear is about how are we going to actually bring about this transparency that we've been talking about for the last couple months? Mark, what would transparency look like for you, for trustee Mark McDermott? How would you be transparent?
Well, first off, suppose Project A comes up. Rather than have 1 or maybe 2 informative sessions to invite the public, have 4 or 5 and advertise it more. Send it out as email, send it out as a phone survey, and take time to get the public to know this. And listen to them. Just because you're sitting on government doesn't mean you can do it your way. It's like you say, this is your village, you've been here a long time. It's got to be, the projects and the welfare of this village have got to be more accessible to the people.
Mark and I, through the summer, we did multiple community events. We did something we called Chad and Mark in the park, and we met under the gazebo. And I think that just having more opportunities for town hall in interactions outside of a town board meeting every month, which is, it's protocolized and it's business oriented, but just having a point where people can meet and they'll have a chance to talk to our village trustees really matters, because it's in informal settings like this where people can really express something that maybe they're not right to go up to a podium and talk about. They're not ready to do that. And we just want more opportunities like that. I think what Mark talked about is really relevant too, that if a street is being redesigned, then you send it out to the general community, but then also talk to the people on that street. It's not outrageous for the town to print flyers and go door to door on a certain street and say, your road is slated for redevelopment in the next 12 months. This is what it's going to look like. Or this park that's within a quarter mile of your house that your children go to after school is going to be redeveloped. What do you want it to look like? Here are 3 options that we're looking at. We need more opportunities, and the town needs to take an active effort in seeking comment from people. That's what we don't see now, and that's one big reason why we're running.
So where can we see this, your tax plan and your vision for the village?
So our tax plan and our vision for transparency in the village, you can see them on our Facebook page. We're live streaming it now. We're going to put this on YouTube too, and we'll put a link to it in our YouTube description. We'll send it out via email. If you want to join our email list, it's very easy to do, and we can get that to you. Really, just contact us. And we can get it out to you however you want, by text, by email, by Facebook, by YouTube. We'll get it out to you because it's important that people know where we stand. And we want people to know what we're thinking. But we really also need to hear what matters to you and how we need to tweak our plan. This isn't set in stone. The whole point of local government should be flexibility, and that we should be able to change how we act according to what the people want. And that's why we hold these events every month.
Right.
Yeah. Any other? Oh, go ahead. Another question.
Yeah, some of it kind of covered already what I was going to ask, but also green initiatives. What are some more examples you guys are looking at? What are some prospects or such you have in mind?
Well, first off, the preservation of our parks, the enhancement of our parks, buildings that are built to have, like you've seen in cities, green roofs.
Okay.
How is the water set up? How is the electricity set up? Energy efficient buildings. Roadways, they don't have to be, this is where Chad and I are very similar in this. We don't, in a 1 square mile community, we don't need all these roadways. Let's make it more walkable. Let's make more space for people who can walk comfortably with their family and their pets. That type of thing. And working for grants, to get grants for reforestation, the urban canopy. People might want a tree. At present, the Parks Committee helps a lot by buying families trees, and we commit a lot of money back to the village, but we'd like to do more.
You know, when I think about green initiatives, which Mark is so well versed in, what I think about too is all of these initiatives that we talk about, they're ways to improve the public space that benefit us privately. A beautiful park, a beautiful street, all these trees that we try to plant around town, that raises our property values. There's studies showing that they reduce crime, they make it safer for kids to walk and bike to school, people to walk to work. And these things make a community desirable. If we want to continue to build and invest in East Rochester, green initiatives is one way to do that. And it's just about finding a way to make East Rochester more desirable. And what's the best way to know that but to ask people for it? What do people want to see? What do they want in that new playground? What do they want on their new street that's going to be redesigned? We don't have all the answers. But the point is that we have a general idea and we're really open to discussion about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Very much.
Any other questions or anything we can help answer? You know, the campaign's drawing to a close. Like we said, November 7th is Election Day. Our next social hour, if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you there, meet you for the first time or meet you for the 100th time. It's going to be on November 2nd. It's at Lucca's Northside. We'd love to see you there. We are going to be out walking and knocking on everybody's doors, trying to tell them more about our campaign and why we think our vision for the village is right for the future. So please reach out to us if you want to help, if you want to donate, if you want to get out and walk and knock on doors or help us hang door hangers. We'd love your help. It's a great opportunity for young people to volunteer around. If you've got somebody who's looking to work on their resume for college, we'd love to help with that, get involved in local politics. At our next social hour on November 2nd, Jen Lunsford, our New York State Assembly rep, has said that she will be there, and Samara Brook, our New York State Senator, should be there as well. And so we'd love to have you come and meet them and have them share their vision for East Rochester and just meet you too, because they help represent you at a higher level of government. So we'd love to see you there. We're really excited about the campaign and we're working hard for you and for East Rochester.
And our thanks to Crust and all the businesses for being supportive. That's who we're trying to help.
Thanks everybody. Thanks for your help and for coming out tonight.